Welcome back to the channel. My name is Abon. Welcome back to Local to Global on FM22 with KV Mechelen. We're still here. We turned down the Brighton job, and I'll explain why in just a little bit. But yeah, we are staying with Mechelen until the end of the season. It's our first game back from our winter break. We're hosting Charlerar, a side that we haven't beaten yet as manager. And this may well be our last chance to do so. So we're going to try and beat them. As always, if you're enjoying the series, drop a like, leave comments and subscribe if you haven't, or if you're new, turn notifications on. Yeah, let's jump into it. We're still here. I'll explain, the reasonings for turning down the Brighton move in just a bit. So as well as the Brighton stuff last time, we hosted Genk. It was a 0-0 draw. We really didn't do much, but we held on for a 0-0 draw. So we're still here, and we're going to be staying with Mechelen until the end of the season. Brighton, if you did miss it, offered us a job, £20,000 a week to join sort of just before Christmas time. And it was a really difficult decision. We haven't really done Journeymans too much on this. I did one a while ago. This is the only one I've ever done. But deciding between Mechelen and Brighton is legit the most difficult decision I've had on this channel. And there's a couple of reasons for turning it down. The first of which is we're doing pretty well with Mechelen. We're in third place with 21 games played. I don't think we're going to have enough about us to catch Club Brugge and get a title. I think that's going to be a bit too out of our reach. They're 15 points clear. But, we're still in a really good position. We can hopefully stay in the top four. And then providing we can finish top three or win the playoff in fourth place, we will have European football for them next season. We won't be there because we're living at the end of this season, but we'll at least leave them with some European football and hopefully a bit of money to come in with that. So that's reason number one, that we're doing quite well. And I'm hoping that the same thing does happen that happened last year, is that we fell off a cliff after Christmas and I don't think won a single match. So hopefully that doesn't happen again. The second reason is that I'm going to find a new club at the end of the season, because then that gives me a whole pre-season to do transfers and sort out a system and things like that. If we joined Brighton, we would have had 5 days until our first competitive match on Boxing Day. And I didn't really want to have such a short time span to try and, get a tactic together, work out what my best team is. 5 days isn't really long enough to do that. And I know a lot of managers will join and take charge after a few days, but I didn't really feel like I wanted to do that. I'd rather leave in the summer and then get a full pre-season to decide, what my best team is and work on the system. So that's the other reason, basically. Although, since we turned that move down, Brighton have climbed out of the relegation zone and are in 16th place after 21 games. The manager they've gone with is Jack Ross, who left the Wolves to join Brighton. He starts off as the Hibernian manager in the Scottish League. So yeah, we've turned Brighton down. The squad looks good. They've still got some players like they have today. We mentioned it last time. Lampt is here. Cucurella is here. They've got some other good players as well. I pointed out a 30-year-old Julian Brandt in their side. It's a good squad, and I became very, very close to joining them. It was a very, very difficult decision, but we are staying with KV Mechelen, and we did actually play a game on Boxing Day. We were away against Lemel, and this was a 2-2 draw. A bit of a disappointing result. I think another day we could have won this, and we had lots of chances to get goals. We did take a 1-0 lead, barely a minute into the second half, Bansban and Aiden getting that goal. Lemel equalised about 10 minutes later. It was a Pavlovic with the ball out to Leonardo, and the cross found Kadiri, who heads the ball in for 1-1. Matsnoster had a goal disallowed, but we did eventually retake the lead. Vito Zonyo with a first-time finish past the goalkeeper. That was 79 minutes in. It was 2-1. But then Lemel equalised again, 4 minutes from time, the ball over the top, and again it was Kadiri, and he beat the goalkeeper to the ball and equalised again for Lemel. So a 2-2 draw. I think we deserved the win. I think we had the better chances, but Lemel just would not go away. So that puts us where we are today. Third place, 41 points. We're level with Ghent. 15 behind Club Brugge. That is going to be a big hill to climb. But the fact that the points are halved after 30 games might give us an outside chance of maybe causing an upset in winning. But, you know, we've got to stay in what we're doing. Last season, we fell off a cliff after Christmas, and I'm hoping the same thing doesn't happen here. Bit of recruitment news as well. We've got in a couple of loan signings. Elton Camacho has joined on loan from Charlerar, the side we're facing today. Just a bit of backup at right back. Vagudinez hasn't really played too much, and he doesn't really look good enough for it. Camacho, bit more of a quality option. And we've actually also managed to get Luca Bellato back on loan from Atalanta. We've been trying to get this guy all summer, but he keeps turning down the loan moves, and finally he's actually joined us. So he's going to be a bit of backup in central defence. We do also have Samuel and Cora for the back again for right back, who again looks decent. But just going to be, again, just another squad player just to try and, you know, give us a few options. So yeah, that's where we are at the moment. We're staying with Mechelen until the end of the season, and then we're going to be looking for a new job, and we'll wait and see where that's going to be. We might get a better job than Brighton in the summer. They're a 3.5-star club. We might be able to do better than that. But, you know, the fact that now Premier League clubs are offering us interviews and offering us jobs makes me really positive for, you know, where our next club could be. We're looking at a top league. We could be in La Liga, Ligue 1, Serie A, Bundesliga, and I wouldn't be opposed to a return to England, to the Premier League. Anyway, on to the game against Charlerar. Like I said at the start, we haven't beaten these guys yet, so now is as good a time as any to do it. Bueno is injured today, though. We have gone with a little bit of a system change for this one. Bellato is going to start today alongside Van Lerberg with 2 DMs. Van den Eyden is going to have a bit more license to get forward and create some chances to get some goals. Johnson, Zonyo and Denis is our front three at the moment. Basilio is on international duty. He's gone to the African Cup of Nations with Equatorial Guinea. Also, I accidentally made Schweiref and Camacho available for a reserve game, which was a bit of a mistake. Also, with Schweiref, he is leaving at the end of the season. He's going to be doing a Montpellier on a free transfer. He wanted to leave. We did try offering him out for some money, but it didn't happen, unfortunately. So he's joining Montpellier at the end of the season. So this is the side we're going with for this. We're starting on balanced. Let's see if we can get through it. Ollie McBurney is the danger man for him. He always seems to score against us. But, you know, we're in good form at the moment. We're unbeaten in, I think, 8 or 9 games in the league. So things are going well. And hopefully today we can beat these guys for the first time. Burney scored in each of his last 4 games against us, that just said. So we're going to try and shut him down today and see if we can, you know, get a result against these guys for a change. He gets 17 goals from the last season, and he's got 7 in 14 at the moment. So we'll try and close the guy down and see if we can get him to draw a blank for once. Charlerar knocked us out of the Belgian Cup early in the season on penalties. They also beat us in the Cup last season. So yeah, we need to we need to try and get a bit of revenge on these guys. And so far, we're not having a lot of possession, but we have at least had a couple of shots. Brighton goes long. We should have that covered. Denzel Owuzu with the ball. What can we do here? Centre-back going forward. It's gone over the top. Johnson heads it down. There's Van den Eyden, and he's just dragged that wide. Not a bad effort, though. I'm going to go to cautious, actually, because we're really not having a lot of possessions today. Jolson with a free kick here for Charlerar. That's gone over everybody. Boanga's going to keep this in. It goes to Brighton. And Boanga with the ball again here. Cafaro. And, Jolson with an effort, but again, just wide. Half-time 0-0. Charlerar have had lots of possession, but we haven't been bad. Neither team has really created a massive chance. I'm going to go for the revenge team talk. We want to beat these guys for once, so let's do it. I think the fact that we only really have one sort of creative player in midfield might be harming our chance creation. But Bellato and Van der Berg can't really play further forward. Dassey and Walsh can play a bit further up. Like this is something that I don't really like doing, is like tinkering with this tactic, but this could work. Like, I don't know, wingback automatic would be good. I mean, I'll just leave them all automatic. Like, I'm literally just trying stuff for fun here. I want to try and beat these guys. But in terms of, you know, midfield options, we really don't have a lot creative-wise. They're all very defensive, apart from Bueno, who's injured. And putting another forward on doesn't help because there's nobody to put the ball up to the forwards. So yeah, it's been a bit of a frustrating one. We probably need to try and get a midfielder in, but we don't have any money. So we can't really do that either. Wage budget-wise, we're really struggling. And this game as well, we've been struggling. We really haven't seen a great deal of football. I think the one highlight was our shot at goal. I think we had a couple of those, actually. Can we actually do something here? It's not been great, you know. Dassey has had very little impact. It's just not been a very good performance by anybody, has it? But I don't have another left-back on the bench because, like I said, Basilio's on international duty and Konatar's not fit. So what do I do? Here's what I do. Let's put Zonyo in the middle. Let's try and link up that play a bit more. It doesn't really leave us with a left winger, but whatever. I need to make some changes thinking about it. Dassi needs to come off. Bellato at left back can work. And then bring on Zal and have him, I don't know, like box to box alongside Van den Eyden. So we've got like a narrow diamond with Denis just sort of lurking outside as well, and like he's really coming on nicely as well. He's now 4 stars. But let's see if we can get something in this game. I'm going to go for a demand more as soon as I can in the shouts. But this hasn't been a great game. We've had a couple of these in the past couple of videos, these 0-0 draws. It looks like we're going to get another one here. I've gone for a demand more. Last 10 minutes. Can we see some football, please? Because we really haven't seen a lot in this game. Like, not a lot at all. And if I hadn't been like taking so long to decide on the Brighton decision, I would have definitely played another match. But because we took such a long time deciding, I had to kind of stop short. But this has been one of the worst games I've played on the series, and it's going to be another 0-0 draw. We're still unbeaten, but we've still yet to beat these guys in this series. This wasn't a great performance by either side, really. It was like pushing and shoving and calling names, wasn't it? One of the good things about the Brighton club vision was there was no requirement to play like a certain type of football. Here at Mechelen, we're expected to play entertaining football. That was anything but entertaining. None of that was at Brighton, so it would have been another good reason for us to actually join them. But like I said, we're waiting until the end of the season to find a new job. We are unbeaten in 10 games, which is great, but yeah, we haven't beaten these guys, and I don't know if we'll face them in the playoffs, because at the moment they're a bit further down the table. Well, as it stands, looking to be in those in the championship playoff, in the championship group. And Charlerar, I think, are about 7th place. Yeah, they're 7th. We do go up to 2nd with that result, but we do have a game played more than Ghent and Ostende, so we could drop down to 4th by the end of Sunday. And we actually face the leaders, Club Brugge, next, away from home. We're the only side that have beaten them so far this season. We beat them 1-0 at the EFA Stadium. I mean, if we can do the double, that would be amazing, but it would be difficult. And if we can close that gap before the championship group, then things don't look as bleak in terms of maybe trying to catch them. Although if they win their Sunday game, they will go 17 points clear. And even when that's halved, that's an 8-point gap. So that's going to be difficult to catch, even if we do beat them away from home. So if it's the leaders next at the Jan Bredel Stadion, then we are against Zulte, who are 8th. Then it's Beerschot, then Standard. Then we've got Ostende, who are 4th. And Union, who are 16th, and Anderlecht in 6th place. Given that it's like Wednesday night at the moment and the next video is going to be out Friday, I think either Ostende or if we can get to it, Union. We'll do one of those games. Union just won 7-0, by the way. They're in 16th place, but their last game, they got a 7-0 win against Beerschot. So, yeah, I don't know where that's come from. So, we'll be back sometime in February. I don't think there's going to be any more transfer stuff. We have no wage budget. We have a negative wage budget. So, unless we get a takeover in the next 2 weeks, we're not going to be doing any signings, I don't think. Unless we can get a free loan, which is unlikely. So, yeah, we'll be back sometime in February, and we will be leaving Mechelen at the end of the season, and then the job hunt will begin once again. But that's going to do it for today's video. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed it, drop a like, leave comments, and subscribe if you haven't, or if you're new, turn notifications on. And yeah, we'll be back in February. We've turned the Brighton job down. We'll check in with them at the end of the season and see how they did. They've at least gotten out of the relegation zone for now, but we will check in with Brighton at the end of the season, like we do the rest of our clubs we've managed this season. We'll check in with Tunbridge, we'll check in with Europa and Gibraltar as well. But that will be at the end of the season. I'll see you next time. Thank you for watching. I'll see you soon. Goodbye.